Yields back. Gentleman from California.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume. And I want to thank my partner in this bill, Adam Schiff, for, I think, 3 Congresses in a row. We've worked together and enjoyed a luxury of riches. The bill passes unanimously on suspension, only to be not quite broad enough to appeal to some people in the Senate. I think many of those questions were worked out by agreement in the last Congress, and I believe we have a real chance of moving this to be law in this Congress. I thank Mr. Johnson, the gentleman from Georgia, and the ranking member, Howard Coble, for both being co-sponsors of this bill. I believe we've made some technical adjustments that will inspire not just the 3 districts of California, but also Massachusetts, New Jersey, and some of the other major areas in which these types of legislation have run into a lot of problems, particularly the fact that we've amended the bill to support those jurisdictions which adopt local rules, even if they would otherwise not be eligible, that would allow for this type of specialization. And on that word, I want to make sure that everyone in the Congress understands, on both sides of the dome, that when we say specialization, we are not trying to create a specialty court. Just the opposite. We're trying to save the district court as we know it. I've had a number of patents in both properly adjudicated in both the as a defendant and as a plaintiff, and what I've discovered is that the judges, given the tools at the district court level and given the opportunity to practice more frequently, or at least having at least one judge who has practiced more frequently, they will adjudicate these cases properly. They will make good Markman decisions. They will, in fact, understand the nuances of patent. Without that expertise lying in each of the district courts, particularly the large ones, we undoubtedly will continue to have cases which get ping-ponged around, which get decided, unfortunately, incorrectly the first time and only decided correctly after they've come back from the Fed Circuit. So as many have called for the creation of a specialty court similar to the appellate court, the Fed Circuit, we're trying here through this patent pilot to do just the opposite, to retain at the district court closest to the people the opportunity to have their patents heard, but to provide them the additional tools necessary to do it, and, as was said very kindly by both Mr. Schiff and Mr. Johnson, to give them the frequency of those judges who would like to have that frequency of doing more than one case every 7 years. So with that, I again urge passage of this bill and reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves. Gentleman from Georgia.
Mr. Speaker, may I inquire as to how many more speakers the gentleman from California has on this matter?
I would make myself the last if the gentleman is prepared to close.
I am prepared to close if you are.
Then I would yield myself just 30 seconds to again recognize that this bill has passed this House overwhelmingly, repeatedly, and this time I believe we've perfected on a bipartisan basis with a companion, including Senator Specter in the Senate, the ability to move this and move this as a separate freestanding bill quickly. And then I look forward to working particularly with Adam Schiff on these many other pieces of legislation and other reforms that we've talked about at length, and of course with the chairman of the subcommittee, Mr. Johnson. With that